What's up guys, James here from Boot Wizard Boot Reviews, and today we are looking at grip socks again. But today we're going to take all of the grip socks, every grip sock that I have tried, and we are going to tier rank them. If you haven't seen a tier ranking video, it's very simple. We have 5 different categories and each sock has to fit within a category. These are socks. So the very top category of socks is foot fetish. That's how good these socks are. These are the top category. Next up we have foot spa. Lovely. The middle tier. Now the middle tier is simply going to be called Nike Crew. And that's exactly where the Nike Crew socks are going, right in that middle tier. This is my baseline. This is the non-grip sock that you have to beat to get above that middle tier, or if you're just as good as it. Mid-tier, Nike Crew. In the next tier down, I appear to have lost lights. That's all right. Let's go and look at that. Minor electrical problems sorted. The next category is cheesy, and not in a good way. And the very bottom category, the worst of the worst grip socks, it's the socks and the boots that you played in the mud at training. You chucked them in your boot in the back of the car and they sat there for a month because you had to go into lockdown, and they just sat there and festered and went moldy and they were horrible. Or we'll just call them moldy. They're your categories. Let's rank some grip socks. We're going to start with Old Faithful, Trusox, the OG, the one that pretty much everybody knows, everybody went out to get. Now, I'm not really going to take into account price here. We're just talking about pure performance. But obviously, if we start taking into account price, things get super complicated because these are a little bit on the expensive side. But the traction, the little grippy elements on the bottom of these are fantastic, even if they do wear off. You get them inside and outside, which is just pretty much unbeatable. The fit is okay, if not fantastic. The area I want to see this improved is in the fit. Now these are the Trusox 2.0 and there is a new 3.0 version out. This is also not the light version, it's the standard version. So I would like to try out the 3, see if they have improved that. But they're good socks, I like them. They have problems with the fit, which definitely means they're not my go-to. So these are foot spa. Are they better than Nike Crew? Yes they are, but they are definitely not foot fetish. Why did I call it that? Trusox. Done. Next up, these lovely little yellow numbers. These are Tapedesign socks. Actually incredibly popular socks, and they seem to be on the feet of some pros, and I picked them up to see what all the fuss was about. These are a one size fits all, very basic standard sock with some grip elements on the bottom, and if in case you haven't gathered, I don't like them. And I realized that I just said I'm not going to take price into consideration. But for the Tapedesign, I actually am, because these are more expensive than other socks that are in the same league as them, basically, that do the same thing, but they're more expensive, which I think means that they have to go further down. So we're not going to make them the moldy. They're not that bad, but they are certainly worse, in my opinion, than a Nike Crew, especially when you consider the price. So, Tapedesign socks. You're yellow, you're cheesy. Out of here. Next up, we have the Unisport grip socks. You may not have even heard of these. You may not know that these even exist. They are a Unisport made in-house grip sock. They cost a grand total of about €7, so they're super cheap, but they are also super awful. The fit's bad, the material's bad, the grip is actually all right, but not only are these some of the worst grip socks I've ever tried, they're some of the worst socks I have ever tried for the price that you pay. I'm using price again, aren't I? Breaking my own rules. But yeah, these are just not good, and these 100% belong in moldy. Goodbye. Next up, probably one of the most technologically advanced socks that you can go out and get, the Falke 4 grip sock, which is woven in a variety of different ways to mold and stretch with your foot at different points where there's extra texture, where there's extra material, where it's woven tighter and looser. And then you've got these grip elements that run along the bottom, which are super like low profile, but they also don't get in the way. They also run up the back and they do a good job. And the main thing about that is that they don't actually cause me a huge problem where the sock bunches up when I put my foot in the boot, which is huge for me because that just annoys me with some of the cheaper socks. These are actually pretty good for that. And overall, I have very few complaints. My only complaint would maybe be that the little elements, the little dots on the bottom, sometimes can be a little bit irritating when you first get a pair because I feel like I can feel them through the bottom of the sock, which isn't a sensation I want. I kind of want to forget that I'm wearing them. But still, these are some of the best socks out there. They're very, very expensive, but I can't put them anywhere else. These are so good. These are foot fetish socks. Still shouldn't have called it that. Next, Steps grip socks. So these are very similar to the Tapedesign, to the pure grip socks that we'll get into in a minute. The way that they are designed, I prefer them to the Tapedesign socks because I think that they do a better job in terms of the fit, although the Tapedesign are probably a little bit more comfortable in terms of the materials used. So it's kind of half a dozen of one, half a dozen of one, six of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah, that's the one. But either way, you can see where I'm going. They're a very similar sock to the Tapedesign. They don't do much else. They are cheaper than the Tapedesign, so they're going in the same category. They're going in cheesy, but I'm going to put them just above the Tapedesign in cheesy. Yeah. Next up, the Nike grip sock, and these use a fun little technology. It's kind of like a gecko, the way that it puts its hands out and spreads out its hands to get maximum coverage area. It's kind of what happens with this gray area on the sock. When you pull it out or when you apply pressure to it, these little bits of material stick out and grip onto the inside of the boot, grip onto the other bits of material. And it's actually really, really clever. They also fit phenomenally well. You can pick them up on sale. They're not particularly expensive, and overall this is a really, really good grip sock. One of my absolute favorites, something I will pick up very, very regularly if I can get them on sale. I would even buy them at full price if I needed a pair of grip socks, and I have lots of good things to say about these. So these are going up. These are foot fetish socks. Next up, we've got the pure grip socks. Now, these are the ones from Josh over at SR4U. There is either a review up on the channel or there is a review coming soon. It depends what order I put these up in. So if it's already up, click here. If it's not already up, click subscribe, and then you'll be able to find out what I think of the pure grip socks in detail. However, for now, these pretty much fit into the same category as the Tapedesign, as the Steps. They're a very standard sock with some rubbery grip elements on the bottom. They have the same problems. They have a couple of little advantages in terms of the anatomical shaping, the sizing, just the rubber being arranged slightly differently. Some effort has gone in here, but they are not really any better than any of those socks. And using my standard logic, which is it better than a Nike Crew? Would I wear this over a Nike Crew? And quite simply, the answer is no. So these come in under the Nike Crew, and they also go into cheesy. Okay, Liteguard grip socks. So these are all about getting compression around your feet while also giving you grip. And if I'm being completely honest, these are my favorite socks. Their huge downside is the price. These are so expensive. And if you want a thicker sock, these probably also aren't for you. These are quite thin, but not in a bad way. These are absolutely my go-to. They're my favorite socks to wear, and they have to, for pure performance, go right up in that top category of foot fetish. But yeah, super expensive. Like, I don't blame anybody for not picking these up because of the price. So best, yeah, probably my favorite socks, but even so, price is a bit of a deal breaker. I can't put them anywhere but at the top though. Next up, we have a grip sock liner. These are the Steverelli grip sock liner, and they've got a really interesting concept of these two big grippy pads, which are kind of a similar material to what you get on the Trusox. And I have to say, in terms of the grip, absolutely fantastic. The way this grip works, the softness, the way it molds to your foot, it just outperforms those socks with the little rubber elements. But it is a liner, so it doesn't come up that high, and also it's got a lot of seams, a lot of different little seams and areas that basically mean that the fit could be better. There's just elements and little bits that pop out here and there. So I don't know, there's some really good here, but also some bad and some stuff I don't like. But on the right day, I would be tempted to pick these up instead of my Nike Crew. So they're going to go right in the middle. These are Nike Crew level socks. They are better than those ones in Cheesy, but they definitely have some issues, and I wouldn't reach for them over a lot of the other socks that are above. So yes, Nike Crew. And finally, I have saved the best till last, and I have done a phenomenal job of planning poorly for this video because it's laundry day and they're in the wash because I use them all the time. These are the best all-around sock when you take into account value in my opinion. I may prefer the Liteguard socks, but they are so expensive. These are affordable, they give great grip, the fit is phenomenal, they are practically unbeatable. There's just one huge problem with them. You can only buy them in Japan. I know, I'm sorry, but they're just that good. So I'm gonna give a shout out to the Gaijin Boot blog for sending these over to me. They are phenomenal. They actually fit into your toes. So these are a toe sock, which completely freaks me out normally, but these are so good. I'm giving them a pass. And we are talking about the Tabio grip sock. Speak to Gaijin Boot blog, speak to the guys at boothype.com. They know all about these, and honestly, next time I'm getting anything coming from Japan, I am all about getting like 8 pairs of these. They're so good and they're affordable. And like I say, like if you can get over the kind of toe thing and the fact it takes a little while to get them on because they have the toe thing. This is officially toe thing now. This is, if you ever need to demonstrate toes in public, this is what we do now. But anyway, these are just tip top in all categories. And then when you take into account the value, which is something I said I wouldn't do at the beginning of the video, I'm a goddamn liar. These have to be right up the top. And yes, these are foot fetish socks. Japanese foot fetish socks. You got a thing for Asian feet. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I regret them immediately and still leave them in the video. That is every single pair of grip socks that I own, ranked from best up at foot fetish all the way down to those socks you left in the back of your car and they got a bit moldy and they smell really bad and you're never going to wear them again. You might just throw them in the bin. And let me know what you think. Which pair would you have chosen as your very best pair? Do you think I've been too hard on some? Are there some in there that you actually really like? And are there any more that you recommend and you want me to pick up? But that's all from me here at Boot Wizard today. Have a good one, and I will see you soon. Like, comment, subscribe, go to patreon.com/bootwizard, all that stuff. Yeah. Camera's still rolling. Hold on. We'll see you soon.